show, and you're most welcome to Noble's View. Now, it's going to be an interesting final because PSG is a very, very tough team. Very, very tough team. They attack, defense, midfield, and their goalkeeper is solid. So you hardly look at any weak point in the PSG team. And that game yesterday against Bayern, yeah, there were a couple of decisions, mainly that penalty that should have gone Bayern's way. But yeah, the referee decided that that wasn't a penalty. According to what lots of people were saying, that although I've not gone through the rules after that game, that if the ball comes from your teammate up to your hand, if it wasn't intentional, then it's not a penalty. It will not be given as a penalty. But yeah, I think for me that was a penalty. But it is what it is. The decision has gone PSG's way, and they are through to the final. So we are going to have a very interesting final in Hungary, Budapest. So let's see who is going to win it. Will PSG get their second Champions League title and back-to-back Champions League title, or will Arsenal get their first ever Champions League title since the club was formed over 100 years ago? So let's see what happens in the final. It's going to be in about 23 days from now. So that's 3 weeks from now. So it's going to be a very, very, very tough game. But let's see who gets through to win the trophy. Dennis Beckham says Noble Halal ball versus Haram ball. Well, I think when it comes to final, like I always say, in finals or in knockout stages, it doesn't matter how well you play. It doesn't. What matters most is if you get your chance, utilize it and score. In finals especially. In finals, because in knockout stages, you might get a second leg, right? But in finals, if you have one single chance, convert it. It's very, very important. If you have one single chance, you convert it, because if you keep missing and missing and missing chances, honestly, it's going to be tough for you. It's going to be really tough. So I think Arsenal need to defend well, which I know they are very good at. But also their attack need to step up. They need to step up. If you get the opportunity to score, just score. Possibly defend to the end of the game if you can't get a second goal. Dennis Beckham says PSG nil, Arsenal 1. Attack wins you games. Defense wins you championships. Yeah, that's true. And that is the main reason Arsenal is actually in the position they are right now, both in the league and also the Champions League. Yeah, their defense has been their mainstay. They don't concede too many goals. I think it's only one match that they've conceded 3 goals this season, and that was against Man United. I don't think they conceded 3 goals in another game. I think there's a Champions League game that last. I don't know if it was no, not Karabakh. There's this. Which team did you guys play last in the group in the league phase? I think you guys conceded 3 goals in that game. I don't know if it was 2-2 or a 3-3 draw in that game. I think that was the only game with the Man United one second leg that you guys conceded 3 goals. So Arsenal's defense, both in the Prem and also in the Champions League, they are the best. They don't concede too many goals. In the Prem, Arsenal has 17 clean sheets in the Premier League, while in the Champions League they have, is this 7 clean sheets that you guys have in the Champions League from 14 games. So it's a very, very good one for Arsenal. Defend very well, very, very important. Dennis Beckham says Karabakh. Yeah, it was against Karabakh, the last game in the league phase. Yeah, I remember that. Ellie plays Elite says hi. Eli, Eli, where are you connecting from? Where are you connecting from, Eli? Guys, let me know in the chat, between PSG and Arsenal, who do you think is going to win the Champions League? Because it's PSG Arsenal in the final. I think it's going to be very tough. I actually do want Arsenal to win it, but I'm having serious doubts because this PSG team, you hardly can say this is their weak point. Honestly, you hardly can say this is their weak point, but I sincerely want Arsenal to win it. And one thing that is giving me the confidence for Arsenal is their defense. That's all. And PSG's game is, if you disturb them in terms of not making it possible for them to score goals, they get frustrated. And they always like to score first. That's one thing with this PSG team. They always like to score first. So if you can hold on to the game, don't concede, get any chance and score. Then you see them being erratic. They can't be as organized as they usually are. Just remember the Chelsea game in the FIFA Club World Cup. Chelsea scored them first. Before you know what was happening, boom, the second goal went in. They kept on pushing, and Chelsea scored the third goal. It was just like a dream. It was just like a dream for PSG. They were just so disorganized. And that is one thing PSG also does to teams. PSG hardly misses chances. It's very difficult for them to miss chances in those key games. Watch their first leg against Bayern. Their first leg against Bayern was 5 shots on target, 5 goals. So that is the same approach Arsenal need to adopt against them. The same thing Chelsea did in a Club World Cup in the United States. If you get the chance, boom, just score. Don't make the goalkeeper turn into something else and begin to save balls here and there. You score your goals. Travis for Life says, yo, what's up, uncle? Remember me? Yeah, of course I remember you, Travis. Yeah, that name reminds me of one of my favorite musicians in the US, Travis Green. I love Travis Green. Eli plays. Elite says, I support Chelsea. Okay, we have a Chelsea person in the chat this morning. Nice to have you on the channel, brother. Which country are you connecting from, Eli? Travis says, Dembele does rage bait sometimes by missing 1v1. Yeah, if you check the periods that Dembele might be missing those chances, maybe they must have scored 1 or 2. Yeah, but the likes of Kvaratskhelia hardly misses. Desire Doué, maybe sometimes he can miss. Yeah, but those key moments, they need goals. They hardly miss chances. They hardly miss chances. Eli says, England. Okay, nice to have you on the channel. What's your thought about Chelsea's situation so far, Eli? Do you think you guys can come back next season, come back strong next season? And which manager do you think Chelsea needs at this point? Who is the manager out there that you think Bluco should go and sign for you guys? Because I think Chelsea is in a very, very terrible situation right now. Very terrible situation, honestly. No European, no Champions League. European football is still not fully confirmed, but no Champions League football for Chelsea next season. They are still fighting for Conference League and Europa. So let's see what happens. Travis says, Real Madrid dressing room, what needs to happen to fix it, uncle? First things first, I think Abeloa needs to go. That's number 1. Then number 2, there are a couple of players I think Madrid need to sell. Yes, Madrid need to sell at least 5 or 6 players. Number 1 for me is Eder Militao. Number 2, David Alaba. Number 3, Ferland Mendy. Number 4, Ceballos. Number 5, Dani Carvajal. I think there's one more player I'm missing. I'm looking about 6 players at Madrid that need to be sold. Sell these 5 or 6 players. Get in new players. And also get a manager that can manage the egos in the dressing room. Because stuff that I have been seeing in the last 24-48 hours at Madrid, honestly, it's not looking nice. Madrid is my second team. After Man United, Madrid is the second. So I'm really not happy with what I'm seeing on the internet. Yeah, I saw a news yesterday that Rudiger slapped one of the members of staff. Then Valverde and Tchouaméni. News were going around that Tchouaméni and Valverde were involved in a physical fight. And also 6 players are refusing to talk to Alvaro Arbeloa. Now, many said that the dressing room were not happy with Mbappé because he went on holiday with his girlfriend. I think he's currently injured, if I'm not mistaken. Mbappé is currently injured. So, it's just crazy stuff. And also, for the petition for Kylian Mbappé to leave Real Madrid, over, I think at this point, it's about 11 million votes. 11 million people have cast their vote for Kylian Mbappé to leave Real Madrid. That is huge. I've never seen anything like that in football. So I think if Mbappé feels he gets that number of hate from his club fans, maybe he might leave at the end of the summer. We don't know yet. We don't know. But it's really, really a terrible situation at Real Madrid. Very terrible. Damian Melara says, cheers from Los Angeles. Okay, we have another person from LA because I think Dennis Bergkamp, you're from LA, right? Yeah. Dennis Bergkamp is from LA. So we have another person from California in the chat. Welcome to the channel, Damian. Which football team do you support, Damian? Dennis Bergkamp says Jose Mourinho to Chelsea. Nah, I don't think it's been rumored that Mourinho is going to Madrid, and I think he's the perfect candidate to harness that dressing room in terms of the egos, the likes of Vini, Mbappe, Bellingham, Rodrigo, all these guys who have big egos. He's one person that can actually control it. And Don Carlo. Yeah, Don Carlo is a perfect fit as well. But Don Carlo is still in Brazil. Dennis Bergkamp says, rumor has it Jose Mourinho is returning to Real Madrid. Yes, and I think he's the most likely candidate to take over the job. Travis says, Vini needs to be sold. I think I think he's close to getting a new contract. So, I don't think he's going to leave. With these votes now, it's very much possible that Mbappe might decide to leave. Yeah, it's very much possible. Mohamed Faisal says, what do you think of Alphonso Davies? I'm a big fan of him. 3-4 years ago, Alphonso Davies was the best left back in the world. But this past 2-3 years, the injuries he's had are just too many. Yeah, injuries have just hindered him. I think at some point he was supposed to go to Real Madrid, but this whole injury, you see him get laid off in terms of the injury for like 9 months. He will come back. After 2 months, he will go back for 6 months. After the 6 months, he comes back and plays 3 weeks. He goes for 10 months injury. So the injury to Alphonso Davies are just too many. He's a fantastic footballer, but the injuries are just too much. Dennis Bergkamp says 2.2 million people voted to get Mbappe out. Nah, it's more than that. Yesterday, after the Bayern PSG game, I checked Instagram. I saw that it was over 10 million. I saw it was over 10 million votes that were cast by the fans to kick Mbappe out of the club. I've never seen anything like this. Now, I heard it's almost close to 11 million people. That is a lot. That is a lot. And if that if those number of fans actually want you out of the club, I think you should just bounce. That's just the only thing. I think you should just bounce because it's too much. Now, okay, Toxic Edit says in the chat it's 26 million right now at the moment. 26 million people. Nah, that's too much. That is too much. 26 million fans. But I don't know why the fans are turning on Mbappé. I really don't know. I don't know if it's because of the picture where they saw him with his girlfriend on holiday. I think he's injured at the moment. I don't know if that's the main reason or they feel he's brought bad luck to the Madrid team. I don't know which is the main reason. But it doesn't make sense. And I think for Kylian Mbappé, he might have to leave Madrid and go elsewhere, honestly. Damien says, I support Arsenal. Let's go. Okay, you're a Gunners fan. Do you think Arsenal can beat PSG in the final? Damien. Do you think you guys can beat PSG to lift your first Champions League? Travis says there's an agenda against Ninja. Honestly, I really don't like this situation with Kylian Mbappé. Yeah. Because I am a big fan of Kylian Mbappé. And I don't know and understand why this whole stuff is going on. Honestly, I don't understand it. Because it doesn't warrant, yeah, even if, let's say, he went on holiday with his girlfriend. He's injured. He's trying to recover. And it's not like Madrid is playing for anything this season again. The season is over for Madrid. So probably he might be getting himself ready for the World Cup. So, I really don't like it. I really do not like it, honestly. Toxic says, Vini is the best Madrid player. If you give me an option to sell Mbappé or Vini from Madrid, I would easily choose Mbappé over my lad. I think Vini last season and this season has not been performing. And I know it's mainly because he's no longer the main man. It's now Kylian Mbappé. It's made him not to perform to his level. But that shouldn't be on Mbappé. It should be on Vini Jr. because you cannot use because of the fact that we have another senior player and you're no longer performing at that high level. Personally, I don't think it makes sense. It doesn't. Dennis Beckham said Nuno Mendes is now the best left back in the world. Yeah, even before yesterday's match, he was, in my opinion, the best. There is no left back close to him right now. I think for like 2 seasons now, he's been the best left back. As she says, Bayern lost Noble. Yeah, I wanted Bayern to win so that they can go into the final, but but PSG edged them into the final. And also, I think Bayern would have been an easier opponent than PSG for Arsenal because Bayern's defense is rubbish. That defense, Upamecano and Jonathan Tah, especially Dayot Upamecano. That guy, in my opinion, is the most overrated defender. The most overrated defender, honestly. The most overrated defender. And I think Arsenal would have had a better chance against Bayern. Honestly. They would have had a better chance, but it is what it is. Arsenal are through to the final and what is it called? And PSG are also in the final. So let's see what happens. J Man City says, look, see Didier Deschamps Premier League next season. Didier Deschamps? I don't think Didier Deschamps is going to come to the Premier League next season. I really don't think. Yeah, I know he's going to leave the French national team after the World Cup, and it's been rumored that Zinedine Zidane is going to take over the French national team. So, for now, I don't think there's any available job for Didier Deschamps to take over in the Prem. But let's see what happens. Dennis Beckham says 10 million Mbappé needs to go. Yeah, I think at this point he needs to leave Madrid. Because if you have 10 million fans from your club telling you that you need to go, you just have no choice other than leaving and going elsewhere. And at this stage now, who is going to sign Mbappé if he leaves Madrid? Chat, let me know which club do you think is the likely destination for Kylian Mbappe if he ends up leaving Madrid this summer. Like if he decides that he's leaving, since he's not wanted by the fans. As she says, Real Madrid would never get a striker like Mbappe again if he goes. I think if Mbappe goes, they might be looking at someone like Erling Haaland. Mohamed Faisal says, Barcelona need a striker, they need Alvarez. Yeah, I think Barcelona need Alvarez, but the problem is this. Do they have the finance? That's the problem with Barcelona. I don't think they have the finance to sign Julian Alvarez, but you're correct. Barcelona needs a striker. Lewandowski, we all know his time is up. He needs to just probably go to Saudi or the MLS to just retire. Guys, let's get the lights up. It's our morning show. PSG are through to the finals of the UEFA Champions League and they are playing Arsenal. Who do you think is going to win it? Arsenal for the first time in their history or PSG doing a back-to-back Champions League win? So let me know in the chat, guys, what your thoughts are about the finals of the UEFA Champions League. Dennis Beckham says, Nobu, would you accept Kylian Mbappe to Manchester United? Would I accept him to Man United? Of course, I will accept Kylian Mbappe at Man United. Very, very... It's going to be a very good move. Yes, I know there are some issues in terms of attitude and all that, but I think Carrick has the personality to be able to control players like that. Yeah, I think Carrick has the personality. And Mbappe, with the type of players we have, the likes of Cunha, Mbumo, that love to run into spaces and, you know, they've got the speed. He can thrive well. And Bruno Fernandes also is very, very good with those sort of long passes. So I think Mbappe is going to do well. Definitely is going to come in as a striker. Then maybe Benjamin Sesko will be an option from the bench. But I think Kylian Mbappe is going to be a good option for Man United. But the problem is his wages. Yeah, Kylian is on a very, very huge sum. Toxic Eddie says Nuno Mendes versus Saka in final. I think Nuno Mendes can comfortably mark Bukayo Saka off in a game. Yeah, he can. I think one person that will be of great advantage to Arsenal in that final is Eze. I don't want to see Odegaard start that final. I really don't want to see Arteta play Odegaard. It's better he starts the same lineup against Atletico in the second leg. If he plays Odegaard in that final, if he starts Odegaard in that final, Arsenal will lose it. He needs to play Eze in that number 10 position. As she says, Upamecano and Tar, yeah, those guys are rubbish. Bayern defense is their major problem. That was why I wanted them to play Arsenal in the final, because Bayern would have been an easier option for Arsenal to win. Honestly, they would have been. Yaya says, I just woke up. I don't think Haaland cares about Madrid. Didn't Mbappe do well last season? Fans are fickle. I wouldn't want him at Arsenal. Mbappe did well last season. I really don't know what is and I think if you check, yeah, I know I'm a Madrid fan in terms of it's not my first club, it's my second club, right? Madrid fans turned on Ronaldo. When Ronaldo was playing at Madrid, they were booing him. With all he did previously before that, I think it was about 3 or 4 seasons before he left. They were booing Ronaldo. Imagine Madrid fans booing their greatest ever player, their highest goal scorer, booing him. What then do you expect from them when it comes to Kylian Mbappe? Madrid fans are something else. Honestly. Because I see no reason why over 10 million of you will be voting for Mbappe to be kicked out of the club. Why? If I am Kylian Mbappe, I'm definitely leaving Madrid. I'm not staying there. If I'm Kylian Mbappe, I'm leaving. Because it's not like maybe it's 1,000 fans. If it's 1,000 fans, you can say, okay, it's just a small percentage of the population. But for over 10 million, come on. Over 10 million, that is a lot. That is a lot. And I think if he leaves, he's justified. Yeah, is it because he went on holiday with his girlfriend? He's injured, for God's sake. So it's not like Kylian Mbappe, you have the season on and he's not injured, he's gone on holiday with his girlfriend. I really don't like the fact that over 10 million Madrid fans, they signed a petition for him to be kicked out of the club. It doesn't make any sense for me. And I don't like it. Farhan Ayub says 4-0. 4-0 to who? Yaya says, I would rather he start Doman ahead of MLS in final. Timber could start though struggled last season against Cavara. Now, I don't think it will be wise to start Yurien Timber in the final against PSG. Reason is this: fitness. Fitness is the most important thing in football. You see, fitness. Because I'm saying this from experience. There was a final I played in my team here in China. And I wasn't fully fit. I was not fully fit. And in that game, that was my worst ever game I've played in. My team lost that game 5-2. And I was really, really upset with myself in that game because I was just like, this is not the usual me. This is not the usual me, right? And I know how it feels. If a player is not 100% fit, no matter how good you are. For example, look at when Palmer came from injury. Look at who else? Odegaard when he came back from injury. Look at Saka when he came back from injury. Just watch Lamine Yamal when he comes back from injury. He's not going to be that same player. He's going to have a drop-off. It will take a couple of weeks for him to get his rhythm back. Honestly. So I don't think it will be wise to play Yurien Timber. Yes, I know Timber is Arsenal's best right back. Timber, I love him and he's Arsenal's best right back. But for the fact that he's been out for weeks and it's a final, you don't need to play a player who is not fully fit. Because even tracking back is also a very, very big problem. Very, very big problem. So I think playing Ben White is the best option. Honestly, playing Ben White is the best option for me. Just Lance says Kala over Hincapie. Calafiori. Calafiori over Hincapie. Man, that's a tough one. It's a tough one. Hincapie is very good. I think the only weakness with Hincapie is his height. He's very short. But he has that South American fighting spirit. Yeah, that's one thing I love about Hincapie. He's very, very tough. You might see him very small and probably think that he's one easy dude that I can get past easily, but he'll be like, hell no, you're not going anywhere. But yeah, I think, like I said, the same starting lineup against Atletico should be the starting lineup in the finals. But one player I don't want to see start that game is Odegaard. I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I've seen Odegaard's game for years and I know what his game is about. In this game against PSG, you don't need to recycle the ball sideways. You don't need to recycle it. You need to go very direct. That's what Arsenal needs to do against PSG. Go very direct, not recycling the ball sideways. You go, because that's one thing Odegaard is good with. Just turning around, recycling the ball left, right. He goes this way, go that way, not going direct. Takes too many touches on the ball. Yaya says Calafiori offers more attacking option. Yeah, Calafiori offers more going forward, but sometimes defensively he might be lacking. But I think he should be the person to start the final. Not so lucky says Cali first half for the attacking play, then sub him off like we did against Atleti. Yes, I would definitely start Calafiori. Maybe if he plays up to 60-65 minutes, get him off and bring in Hincapie. Hincapie for me is more solid defensively. Hincapie is more solid defensively than Calafiori. Calafiori sometimes can be clumsy. Look at that tackle he did before he was subbed off. He was very lucky there that Gabriel Magalhaes had been fouled probably a second or two before he went for that tackle, and the referee had already blown the whistle. Else, that would have been a penalty, and that would have been the game changer, honestly. But I think he should start, but second half, Calafiori needs to be subbed off. Mohammed says, I think if England win the World Cup, Harry Kane will win the Ballon d'Or. Yeah, I think Kane definitely is the best player in the world right now. Yes, they've been knocked out of the Champions League, but Kane, in my opinion, is still the best player in the world this season. Zoltan Aptikadir says, which one, Barcelona vs Real Madrid El Clasico win? With the commotion going on in Madrid right now, I think Barcelona is going to win Madrid. Probably 3-0 in that game. Yeah, I will go for a 3-0 win for Barcelona against Madrid. Honestly. Guys, if you're just joining the chat, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. This is our daily morning show, and we are having a conversation about the Champions League final between PSG versus Arsenal in Budapest. Now, this game is going to be a very tough one, honestly. It's going to be very tough, but I think it's not going to be as easy as people think. Honestly, it's not going to be. But let's see what happens. Joslan says, Kala over Hinkapie. Yeah, probably for the start of the final. Ashi says, PSG would score at least 2 goals in the final. I'm not sure if Arsenal can. No, one advantage Arsenal has is their defense, which Bayern has a very terrible defense. Very, very terrible. But Arsenal has the best defense in Europe. They've conceded the least amount of goals in the Champions League. And I think Arsenal has the highest clean sheets in the Champions League. Also in the Premier League, they've conceded the least amount of goals and they have the highest clean sheet, 17. So Arsenal has the best defense. If there is any team that can stop PSG from scoring too many goals, it has to be Arsenal. It has to be. Luca Daniela says, robbed. Which team was robbed? Yaya says, the thing that worries me is the subs. They are crap apart from Doman. I don't think Max Doman is going to play that final, by the way. I don't think so. He's not going to come on in the final. If Eb starts Eze, if Eze starts that final, then probably in about 65-70 minutes, Arteta might sub him off to bring in Odegaard. Then, if Bukayo Saka, I think Saka might play. Yeah, Saka has to play 90 minutes. Yeah, because taking off Saka to bring Madueke on in the final, I don't think that's going to be the right decision. But yeah, I think the final is going to be interesting. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I know lots of people would think that PSG are going to smash Arsenal, but I have a contrary opinion to that. Mohamed Faisal says, I think Real will win because Lamine is injured. Even though Lamine is injured, I think Madrid is just too disorganized now. There's too many negatives going on at Madrid. So I think it's Barcelona are going to win Madrid. Even though I want Madrid to win Barca. But, man, the confusion at the club is just too much. Living Sammy says, Zubi should not start at all. Odegaard should come in maybe 5 minutes to go. Timber should start playing already in the Premiership first to boost his fitness. Now, that fitness is the main reason I said I don't want Timber to start that final. I don't want him to play that final because Timber will not be fully fit for the World Cup, for the final against PSG. And in a final, you need your best players who are fit. And the most important thing in football is fitness. Fitness comes first. Because if you are not fit, you can't chase the ball. If you are not fit, you can't dribble past a player. If you are not fit, There are certain goals you cannot score. So as a defender, you even need your defender to be at the top of his game, to be 100% fit, because PSG attack is deadly. They have, aside from Bayern, the PSG attack is the next in line in terms of very, very wicked attack. So I don't think Timber needs to start that final. Even though I'm not Ben White's biggest fan, but I think he should start. I think he should start ahead of Julian Timber in the final. Timber is a better player. Of course, I agree. If both players are fit, I'll play Timber ahead of Ben White. But because of the fitness of Timber is not yet back in the squad in terms of selection. The game on Tuesday, he was in the stands watching it. Musicology says, do you support Man City? Nah, I support Man United. I don't support Man City. Talking about Odegaard. You said Odegaard should be given 5 minutes, leaving Samis. Well, I don't disagree with that, because I think Arsenal, if they want to go to the next level, they need to sell Odegaard. Odegaard is not fit to be Arsenal's captain. His output in the past 2 seasons have been very, very bad. And I think you don't need that from your captain. Now, people who have been delivering for Arsenal that deserve to be captain: Gabriel Magalhaes, Declan Rice, and Bukayo Saka. I know Saka has been injured most of the time, but these 3 guys, for me, they are better captains than Odegaard, honestly. As she says, Inter had a good defense too, but PSG trashed them 5-0. Nah, Inter doesn't have a good defense. They don't have a good defense. Inter has a very terrible defense. Look at how they struggled against Barcelona in the semi-finals. I think they conceded 3 or 4. I think they conceded 4 goals in the semi-finals against Barcelona. Went to the finals and they conceded 5 goals against PSG. That is indeed wild. Honestly, it's indeed crazy. Guys, let's get the likes up. And if you're just joining the channel, let us know where you're connecting from. Also, don't forget to subscribe to Noble's View, guys. Don't forget to subscribe to Noble's View. I think we have a couple of new persons in the chat. So if you're just joining, hit the like button and subscribe to Noble's View. ABF says, hi, do you think Man United will finish 3rd? Yeah, of course. Man United will finish 3rd. They are currently 6 points ahead of Liverpool and Aston Villa. So Man United need 1 more win. Yeah, I think Man United need 1 more win. And if Liverpool lose their match, Aston Villa lose, then Man U can cement that 3rd position. They've already qualified for Champions League. It's been confirmed. Yeah, but that 3rd position, they need 4 points. Man United need 4 more points to cement it. Mohamed Faisal says, I would score hat-trick against PSG easily. Now, the PSG defense is strong. Yaya says, I'm hoping Brentford can get something tomorrow, so if Arsenal keep winning, we can get the league at Burnley and play Doman against Palace. I don't think Brentford can get a result against City. They might get a result, but I think the team that I'm very much sure of will get points off City is Bournemouth. Man City is not winning that Bournemouth game. Honestly, they are not winning that Bournemouth game. They are not. So I think it's going to be a very tough one for City in that game. But the Brentford one, I really don't think Man City... I don't think Man City will lose that game. They might get a draw, maybe. Sean Croy says, what's up? Good morning to everyone. Yeah, Sean, welcome back. I think you joined the channel yesterday from South Africa, right? Nice to have you back on the channel, Sean Croy. Yeah, says, yet Arsenal beat Inter away this season. I'm not even using Inter Milan as a criteria. Yeah, Inter Milan's defense is rubbish. They cannot defend. Italian teams are no longer that strong defensive team we've known over the years. Italian teams have dropped so badly when it comes to defending, and they've been very bad recently. Enigma says ref robbed Bayern. For me, I think that was a penalty, but there are some people saying the rules. Though I've not checked the new rules of IFAB to see what it says about that, but lots of people are saying, according to the rules, if it's from your teammate to your hand, if it wasn't intentional, then it's not a penalty. So how do you know if it's intentional or not? Tassin says last season Inter was just too good. They were good, but defensively they still conceded lots of goals. Musicology says, do you think Michael Carrick is just another Ole Gunnar? Nah, Carrick has a different personality from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Yeah, Ole was more an OES man, but you can see Carrick, he's calm. Yeah, Ole was calm, but Carrick I think Carrick has a better personality than Ole. And Ole, his major problem at Man United was the fact that there was no discipline at the club when he was in charge. But you can see from Michael Carrick, the way he does things, all the players respect and love him. And with what he achieved as a player as well. So when he speaks, they listen. Ray Sean says, bro, the referee did support PSG because Bayern had a pen, but he didn't give it to their favor. Yeah, I think that was a penalty, honestly. It was a penalty, and that would have changed the course of the game. Yeah, but the referee decided that it wasn't a penalty, and VAR just didn't want to take that incident. Yeah, VAR didn't want to take it, and it's all over. Bayern are out. Similar thing happened to Madrid. That red card to Camavinga, in my opinion, wasn't supposed to be a red card. So sometimes there are certain decisions referees take in a game that might go against you, and that might end up hurting you. So it's football. Yeah, says Rice is the real captain. Yeah, that's why I said Rice, Gabriel, and Saka. I think Rice is more vocal than Saka. Gabriel and Rice are very, very vocal. So those guys are good captain materials. Sean says, no, now it's between Dembele and Saka. You mean the Ballon d'Or? Nah, I don't think... for me, I don't think the Ballon d'Or should go to any player this season other than Harry Kane. He's got the best numbers in terms of his goals and assists in the whole season. I think he should have about 55 or 56 goals in all competitions. He might get up to 60. Yeah, he might get up to 60 goals at the end of the season. So they should do the same thing they did in favor of Messi a couple of years ago. Yeah, since they gave him as the highest goal scorer, not because he won a trophy. Sorry, not because he won the Champions League or the World Cup. They gave him because he was the highest goal scorer. So I think they should do the same to Harry Kane. They shouldn't change it. Tassin says Arsenal bought Rice for £105 million, but I bought Rice for £30. Now, Rice has been fantastic for Arsenal. Yeah, he's actually proved the worth of his money that Arsenal paid to sign him. Rice has been good. Ray Sean says Mendes and Rice, they are not playing the same position. Yeah says, I like boil in the bag. You like boil in the bag rice. Oh, God. Sean says, yes, bro, where is Slot? Pure penalty. It's a clear pen. Yeah, for me, that's a penalty. I don't know if the rule has been changed, but it's a clear penalty. Mohamed Faisal says, if you were the owner of Man United, who would you buy and sell? Up front, I'm going to go for Diomande and Alvarez. Mohamed Faisal says, lagged. Really? Is it still lagging right now? Mohammed. Guys, let me know in the chat if it's still lagging or the network is better. Yeah, because my VPN network was it disconnected. Ashish says, why his name is Rice? Well, I don't know. That's his family name. Musicology says, who is your favorite player right now to watch? I love watching Bruno Fernandes. I love watching Vitinha. I love watching Olise. Yamal as well. Pedri, De Jong. Who else? Kvaratskhelia. I love watching Kvaratskhelia. He's a good player. Harry Kane as well. Yeah, these are the guys I love to watch. Yeah, for midfielders, it's just Bruno, Vitinha, Pedri, De Jong. Yeah, I love watching those guys because they are top level. Ray Sean says, so Rice is gonna break his leg. Whose leg? Toxic. Is it Toxic Headshot says Rice is a rubbish, overrated English footballer. Nah, come on, bro. He's for me, I don't know if I would say Rice is world class. I don't think I would call him a world class yet. Yeah, maybe this season when it ends, next season, we can now look at it properly. But he's a top player. Yeah, Declan Rice, I really like him. He's a top player. Mohamed Faisal says Bruno or Cheki. Of course, it's definitely Bruno Fernandes. Bruno for me is the best midfielder in the world. None comes close. Yaya says it's not lagging now, but your image is distorted. I see you in blue Chelsea shirt. Are you serious? I don't know what's up with my VPN now. It's just, let me see. But is it clearer now? Yeah. Toxic Headshot says Europa League winners. Who are you saying they are Europa League winners? I think Nottingham Forest might go on to win the Europa League. They might. Rayshon, okay, says Mendes. Declan Rice plays in the midfield. Mendes plays on the wing. So I don't think we are going to have that battle between Mendes and Declan Rice. The battle is going to be between Mendes and Bukayo Saka, not Declan Rice. Last Gosh Poradesi says Arteta ball on its peak. Yeah, Arteta needs to do all he can to win that game. If he needs to play the around ball people call it, he should play it and win the game. Nobody cares about how he gets the win. It's just for you to win. That's all that matters. Nothing else. Nothing else matters. It's just get your win. Simple. If you like play beautiful, play dirty, just get the win. That's all. Yaya says, to test the sound is working. Okay, can you say Arsenal are the best 3 times? This guy, you're funny. I was asking about the quality of the video because of the VPN network I'm using. That's what I'm asking. Gaming Guys says, I have subscribed. Thank you very much, Gaming Guys, for subscribing. Where are you connecting from? Gaming Guys. Where are you connecting from? Sean Croy says, nah, bro, the game Liverpool and Chelsea, who gonna win the game? I think Liverpool is going to win Chelsea. Chelsea right now is rubbish. Yeah, I think Liverpool is going to win Chelsea. For sure. Nothing says, where was Diaz in second leg? Diaz had very good opportunities, but he couldn't utilize them very well. He got the best of Zaire Emery twice, put him on the floor, but the decision making there wasn't the right one from Luis Diaz. And it was just terrible. Very terrible that they lost. Luca Anelia says robbed. Well, the penalty, in my opinion, I still maintain it was a penalty, but sometimes referees' decisions just change the course of the game. Nothing says half of guys hate Arsenal. Yeah, Arsenal gets lots of hate on the internet. Honestly, they get lots of hate on the internet, and it's wild. It's really, really wild, honestly. Sean says, why did Baldi sell even Diaz? Yeah, and a slot didn't value him. Liverpool did not value Luis Diaz, and he's gone on to have a fantastic season at Bayern this season. So that's good for him. Reader says, I'm from Chicago. Where are you from? I'm from Nigeria, but I'm living in China. Mohammed says, halal ball versus haram ball final. Well, the thing is, whether haram ball or halal ball, it doesn't matter. The most important thing is for you to win your game, whichever way you play. I do not care. And many people out there also do not care. They just want to see who wins. Whether you win beautifully or dirty, it doesn't matter. Toxic Headshot says, Madrid and Munich got robbed. UEFA, hold your heads in shame. Well, I don't like decisions from referees recently, and VAR are the main reason for that. If there is no VAR, there are certain decisions that I definitely would accept. But at this point, it's just becoming too much. You have the referees in the VAR room and still make silly mistakes. It just doesn't make sense. It's better we know there are no video assistant referees. If a referee makes a mistake on the pitch, I can acknowledge that, okay, this was a mistake. Right? So it just doesn't make sense to me. Honestly, it doesn't make sense to me. Guys, let's get the likes up. Let's get it up. If you are yet to subscribe to the channel, kindly hit the subscribe button, guys. Let's get it up. Let's get it up, guys. Let's get the likes up. And also, hit the subscribe button. Nothing says PSG was clear in both legs. Bayern fullback sucks. Yeah, what's this boy's name? Stanisic and Konrad Lehmann. They had no impact in that game. No single impact in that game. They had no impact in that game. Nothing says Lehmann couldn't stop Kevara in the first goal. Konrad Lehmann and Upamecano were at fault for that goal. 100%. Both of them were at fault for that goal. Mohammed says, I think that Man City will win the FA Cup. Yeah, of course. Man City are definitely winning the FA Cup. 100%. Nothing says Bundesliga Farmer versus League One Dominator. It's crazy how the Farmers League is dominating Europe for 2 seasons now. It's really, really crazy. And funny as well. It's funny at the same time how the Farmers League have dominated European football for 2 seasons now, and PSG are on course to win their second Champions League title. No one saw this coming. And kudos to Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique has done an amazing job there. Honestly, he's done a fantastic job at PSG. Ray Sean says, you can call me Ray. Alright, Ray, no problems. Musicology says, when will Man United win the Premier League? The Prem. And Bayern definitely will feel robbed. You can't blame them. You can't blame them. Mohammed says Man United will win Premier League when Noble becomes the coach of Man U. I think if we can give Carrick the job, and get him the players that he needs, then definitely we can fight for the league. Let's say next season and win it the season after. If we can come second next season, then 2 seasons later we can go for top spot. Joseph Gabla says Arsenal is definitely going to win double this season because they are more defensive, and with the level of performance that Victor is putting through at the end of the season, it's extraordinary. Yeah, I think Victor Gyökeres had a good game on Tuesday, even though he did not score, but he kept the Atletico Madrid defenders very, very busy. He was going into battles, fighting. Yeah, some of them he lost, but he was very, very much busy in that game. And those are the sort of performances you need from your striker. Even if he can't give you goals, but at least you see that fight from him. Yeah, I was very, very impressed with Victor Gyökeres in that game against Atletico. Even though he didn't score ball. Yeah, you want to see your striker go in for battles. Win some, he might lose some as well. Ray says Liverpool is doing their best to be in first place. Nah, Liverpool is very, very much far from the first place. They should be focused on just getting Champions League football. I think Liverpool can finish 4th. Yeah, they can finish 4th. Musicology says, didn't Ole Gunnar get second? Please change Carrick before it becomes Ole Gunnar. Now, I don't think Carrick and Ole Gunnar Solskjaer have the same personality. They don't. They are 2 different individuals. Their management styles are different. And Carrick has a more experienced and balanced backroom staff. Steve Holland is a top manager. And he's been successful in that role for years. So it's a big plus to Carrick's coaching staff. So I think Carrick has a very, very good coaching squad, honestly. He has a very, very good squad. Farida Kubinda says, Arsenal is fucking winning. I hate it. Well, you don't need to hate or like it. Sometimes, if you see, maybe some people say if you can't beat them, you join them. I know the main thing for Arsenal is their defense. Their attack is rubbish. I don't like the Arsenal attack. They are not firing. Yeah, the main strength of the Arsenal team is the defense. So the defense needs to improve. That's for sure. Arsenal's defense needs to improve. Farida, where are you connecting from? Toxic Headshot says, don't give Carrick the job. It will be a big mistake. Why will it be a big mistake giving Carrick the job? He's done enough to actually deserve the job. So why are you saying Carrick should not be given a job permanently? Out of 14 games, he's won 10, lost 2, and he drew 2. So why shouldn't he get the job? Who else is out there? Who else is out there that can give Man United a better result? Not GSL says Arsenal winning the league and Champions League. Well, I'm not sure of the Champions League, but I'm very much sure that Arsenal is winning the Prem. In the Champions League, it's still very much open. They can get a result against PSG in the final. It's football, anything is possible. So I'm not going to rule that out, but yeah, the Premier League is easier for Arsenal to win than the Champions League. Toxic Headshot says Arsenal may bottle the league, the title, and Champions League. No chance. Now, I don't think Arsenal will bottle both trophies. If there is a trophy they will bottle is the final, but the Prem, I think Arsenal wins it. Yeah, I think Arsenal wins it. Ray says, I am done talking now. Alright, Ray. Arsenal has to win the Prem. If they can win the Premier League, then they will go into the Champions League final more confident. Nothing says, if you guys hating on Arsenal should get a life. Musicology says, I'm a Tottenham fan. Do you think we'll get relegated? Oh, now I see why you don't want Arsenal to win. No, I don't think Spurs are going to get relegated. Yeah, I don't think you guys are going to get relegated because that win against Aston Villa over the weekend was a statement win. Very, very important win for you guys. And I think that is going to positively affect like the mentality of the team, that they can get at least 3 more wins in these games that are left. Just 3 more games to go. They can get 3 more wins. So I think Spurs are not going to get relegated. You guys are playing Leeds this weekend, and I think you can get a result against Leeds. Yes, Leeds are out of that zone. They are not safe yet, but you guys are in dead need of those 3 points more than Leeds United. Honestly, I think West Ham are going down. Farida Kubinda says, I'm from Kenya, bro. Alright, nice to have you on the chat, Farida. Are you from Mombasa or from Nairobi? Intergataxi says, not forget like and subscribe to Noble's View TV, best China-based football streamer. Thank you very much, Intergalactic. Let's get the likes up, guys. Farida says, I'm a Man City fan though. Okay. Yeah, we have lots of City fans on the channel. So, nothing says Toxic. Which club do you support? I don't know. I think maybe he might be a Chelsea fan. Maybe. Farida says, chill. Arsenal fan at nothing. Okay. Nothing says PSG was better than Bayern. Bayern deserve it. I think Bayern didn't do enough to win that game yesterday. They did not do enough. Their defense were rubbish. Their attack didn't deliver as usual. Teva Kid Edit says yes. Teva Kid Edit, where are you connecting from? Toxic Headshot says Joyce. Mohamed Faisal says Rafa Leao or Gabriel Martinelli. Rafa Leao or Gabriel Martinelli. I'm not a big fan of Martinelli, but Rafa Leao for me is rubbish. I would rather maybe not even pick anyone, but if I don't have a choice, then I have to go with Gabriel Martinelli, honestly. Guys, let's get the likes up. Let's get it up and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Who do you think is going to win the Champions League final? PSG or Arsenal? Who do you think is going to win, guys? Let me know in the chat. The final is going to be a very tough one. Nothing says Tottenham fan hating Arsenal. Yeah, they need Arsenal to win West Ham for them over the weekend. That's why I said to some Tottenham fans, you guys shouldn't hate on Arsenal now. This is the best time you need to support Arsenal. That game over the weekend, support them to win West Ham, so you guys can have hope of staying up. Farida says Nairobi, bro. Okay, I have lots of Nairobi people in the channel. Also Mombasa. Kenya is number 7 or number 6. Okay, Kenya is number 6 on the list of countries that watch my content. So I have lots of people following me in Kenya. It's nice to have you on the channel, Farida Kubinda. Have you subscribed already, Farida? Farida Kubinda, have you subscribed already? Oleku, tell me something where I know fit to. Mo pop 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 malo too. Money ni modeji. Okay, Travis for Life says Arsenal have got to play. Do you reckon they win the UCL if they win all the remaining games by momentum? Arsenal can win their remaining 3 games in the Prem. That's a fact. But I think the Champions League is going to be more difficult for them. It's going to be more difficult. But let's see what happens. It's football. Anything can still happen. Anything can still happen. So, okay, nothing says Tottenham fan hating Arsenal. I've read that already. Anshad says, hi, bro. Anshad, nice to have you on the channel. Where are you connecting from? Guys, let's get the likes up. Our likes are pretty low. Let's get the likes up, guys. Let's get our likes up. Farida says PSG defense was top notch. Yeah, PSG has a fantastic defense. I think they have one of the best defenses. They are very, very solid. Very solid. Musicology says, as a Tottenham fan, I've seen Arsenal win a Premier League, so it's okay. But I don't want them to win the Champions League. I'll hide. Yeah, that is the greatest fear of all Tottenham fans. They don't want to see Arsenal win the Champions League. Because the only advantage they have over Arsenal whenever it comes to banter is Arsenal not winning any European trophy. Like Europa League or Champions League. Arsenal doesn't have it, but Tottenham has a couple of Europa League titles. So that is one edge they always have against Arsenal. So I can understand your feeling, bro. Musicology, are you in the UK? Are you in the UK, Musicology? Or would I say England? Yeah, are you in England, London? Because London is where you have Tottenham fans. Not GSL says Saka competing with 2017 Ronaldo, by the way. Come on, bro. You guys, Arsenal fans have started again. Arsenal fans have started again. Huh? Arsenal fans. What's up with the comparison with Cristiano Ronaldo now? What's up with that comparison? This is why lots of people do not like to support Arsenal in anything. Why are you comparing 2017 Ronaldo to Bukayo Saka? What's the comparison about? Musicology says Messi or Ronaldo, and why? I definitely will go with Ronaldo because for me Ronaldo is an all-round, is more complete than Messi. He can score with his left, right, head, like close, distance is not a problem for him. So I definitely will go with Cristiano Ronaldo, of course. And he's my GOAT when it comes to football. Guys, let's get the likes up. Let's get it up. And also, let me know in the chat, like I said, who do you think is going to win the final? PSG or Arsenal? They are both in the final. So let me know in the chat who is going to win the UEFA Champions League. Nothing says Kavara first and Saka first from last. Now, Kvaratskhelia is better than Bukayo Saka, that's for sure. Yeah, I think he's better than Saka. It's not even a debate for me. Bukayo Saka, he's my boy. I love him very, very much. But nah, Kvaratskhelia is better. definitely is better than Bukayo Saka. Farida Kubinda says, so if PSG wins, does it mean Dembele grabs the Ballon d'Or again? No, I don't think he should be given the Ballon d'Or. Last season, he deserved it. But this season, nah. I think he should go to Harry Kane. Yeah, I think he should go to Harry Kane. Animesh says, Lucho had a tactical masterclass. He knew the danger on the wings, assigned Joao and Vitinha to help each fullback. Also then Cavara and Dembele talking in midfield and hitting on that counter. Yeah, Luis Enrique is a top coach. He's a top coach. The way he drills his team, nah, that brother is good. He's tactically strong. And the way he has made that PSG team to play, everybody defends and mark. Everybody. From the striker, Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, Desire Doué, the midfield defense, everybody defends the ball. Massive defense, massive attack. You don't relax. You must be on your toe. Farida says, so, okay, I've read that. Lionel Messi says, I was supporting Bayern and then we lost in semi-finals by 5-6 aggregate. Yeah. Even though the first leg was more interesting than the second leg because there were lots of goals. Yeah, but I think PSG deserved it because Bayern didn't do much in terms of attack. They didn't. Triple G says, hi. Triple G, where are you connecting from? Musicology says, I'm in Australia, Brisbane. I started supporting Tottenham because I didn't want to be a glory hunter. Well, I mainly used to think that sports fans are just in London, or probably let me just say the UK. But since I started my football channel, I've come to see lots of sports fans from India, and that was even the one that shocked me the most because I was like, what? You have sports fans in India? So I was very surprised. So I'm not really surprised about you in Australia because Australia, for me, I think definitely would love football more than Indians. And Indians, I know they are mainly Man United, Real Madrid and Barcelona fans, not a team like Spurs. Mohamed Faisal says, Noble, I have to go. Bye. All right, Mohamed Faisal, do enjoy the rest of your day, brother. Musicology says it was a big mistake. You mean supporting Spurs? Farida says all Man United fans are C Ronaldo's fans. Yeah, majority of Man United fans are Ronaldo fans. Lionel Messi says Arsenal gonna win Champions League. Well, it's very much possible, but I think it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough, honestly. I think the league is easier. The league is easier. Lionel Messi says no, Harry Kane deserves to win. Yeah, I think Harry Kane deserves to win the Ballon d'Or, honestly. He's been the best player this season. I thought the award goes to the best player of the year, or of the season. So he definitely deserves it. 100%. Jim says, can you shout out my friend Jack Goff? It's his birthday today. Alright, shout out to Jim's friend Jack Goff. Happy birthday to you, bro. Happy birthday. Okay, guys, let's get our likes up. Our likes are still very much low, so let's get it up. Not GSL says Olise dropped a stinker. Olise played well in the first half, but in the second half, yeah, he wasn't at the top of his game in the second half. But in the first half, he troubled Mendes. But for the second half, yeah, he had a drop off. Nothing says Yamal vs Nuno was far better than Olise vs Nuno. In the first leg, Olise got the better. At least Olise dribbled Mendes more than Yamal ever did, and he got past him easily in the first leg. But the second leg, the first half, I think at some point he got the best out of Mendes, but the second half, there was nothing from Olise. Fala says, I thought PSG will win. Yeah, you said PSG was going to win. Yeah, I went for Bayern, but yeah, Bayern were knocked out. Not GSL says, Portugal had 3 to 4 defenders on Yamal on Nations League. The first leg, didn't you see how many players were marking Olise? So it's not even about that. For me, I think Olise is a better player than Yamal this season. Yeah, last season, 3 seasons ago, I would pick Yamal ahead of Olise. But based on this season, Olise had a better season all round. Nothing says Nuno was not fit in first leg. Who told you he wasn't fit in the first leg? Now, for me, I know Nuno is the best left back in the world. The best left back. Animle says, to be honest, Luis Campos and Luis Enrique have been a formidable duo. All PSG management also had money before them, but they signed big names. But these two properly created a squad and used that oil money. Yeah, Luis Campos, I think right now he's the best sporting director. Yeah, Luis Campos is doing an amazing job. And Luis Enrique, Enrique he's built a formidable team. Not really of big names, big names, nah. He just picked boys who were going to do exactly what he wanted. Dembele, you see him pressing, a pressing monster. Now it's really a very good team that he's built, I think, in the past 2 years. And they are on course to win their second Champions League final. Lionel Messi says PSG has 9 shots on target and got 8 times corners, which led to them to win against Bayern. Now, I think Bayern's attack were not at their level. Yeah, Bayern's attack were not at that usual level with no. They score goals very well, but at their own turf, they couldn't score. It took them up till 94th minute to get a goal from Harry Kane. Yeah, Bayern were not at their best. If they were at their best, they would have scored a couple of goals at home. Lionel Messi, you can't hear my voice now? You can't hear my voice. Musicology says, do you think England have a chance to win the World Cup based on their market value? I think England has a very good squad, but it depends on if Thomas Tuchel can actually harness the squad and use them very well. Guys, let me know in the chat if you can hear me. Lionel Messi says he can't hear me, so let me be sure it's not from my own end. Yeah, let me be sure it's not from my end. Let me know in the chat, guys, if you guys can hear me clearly and see me as well. Nothing says even a diamond like Mbappé can become coal at the wrong place. Yeah, Madrid fans are just crazy, honestly, because having over 10 million votes signing a petition for him to leave the club. Now, I think he just he has to leave. Because if I were him, you guys don't want me. So what am I doing here? I think that should be the question. What am I doing here since you guys don't want me? It doesn't make sense. Honestly, it doesn't. Sibao says, Nobu, what's up? How are you? I'm doing amazing, Sibao. It's been a very long time. Nice to have you back on the channel, Sibao. Welcome back, brother. Everywhere the papers do you see what they say. Nothing says, okay, I think I've read that. Sibao, it's been a very long time. Lionel Messi says, also many rumors are spreading that Jose Mourinho is coming as a new manager for Real Madrid. Yeah, I think Jose is going to be the best fit to control that dressing room, because honestly, that dressing room is crazy. It is crazy right now, and I think Jose Mourinho is the best candidate. I saw a news earlier, I think yesterday. I saw a news yesterday saying that Valverde and Tchouaméni had a bust up in training. Also, Rudiger slapping one of the members of staff. 6 players not wanting to speak to Arbeloa. It's just crazy stuff at the Bernabeu. Honestly, it's just crazy stuff at the Bernabeu. Last Gosh Poradesi says, can't wait for the final. Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting final. So who do you reckon is going to win it? I know you're an Arsenal fan, but deep down inside, do you believe you guys can win the final against PSG? Last Gosh. Nothing says Rudiger and Carras. Yeah, Alvaro Carreras. I don't know what is going on at Madrid. Honestly, I don't know what is going on there. It's just crazy to see how things have gone so bad at Madrid. You guys have lost the season. Now we are hearing fights here and there. The petitions against Mbappé to leave the club, like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy, and it's not nice. Honestly, it's not nice. Lionel Messi says, pure halal ball match gonna happen in finals, PSG Arsenal. I'm not looking for an exciting game, but I know the game is going to be tough. Yeah. Arsenal are going to try and defend very well, and possibly if they get a chance, they score. So let's see what happens in the final. But I know it's not going to be like the Inter Milan one last season. Nah, it's not going to be like it. Sibal says, it may be a super hard. I'll be honest, but we can't go trophyless again. Yes, Arsenal need to win a trophy. I think if you guys can win the Prem at the last game against Burnley, I think you guys stand a chance to win that Champions League final. But if you lose the Premier League title, it's going to affect the players mentally. But if you win, it's going to be a boost to go into that final. Nothing says Mbappé should leave Madrid and go where he can get respect. Yeah, Madrid fans are something else. Is it Pabnob, my Russian friend? Is it Pabnob? It says Madrid evening. Yeah, I don't understand why Madrid fans are pushing to get Kylian Mbappé out of the club. It's not like Mbappé had a terrible season, or maybe he had a stinker. He's been fantastic this season. He's Madrid's highest goal scorer. So I don't understand the whole hate that the young boy is getting from Madrid fans. I don't get it, honestly. And if I were Kylian Mbappe, I would just leave. You guys don't want me. Over 10 million people signing that petition for him to leave the club. It doesn't make sense. Honestly, it doesn't make sense. Nothing says when Mbappe enjoy a vacation, he doesn't care when Vini goes to vacation goes on a vacation he deserves. Well, I don't know why they are having issues with that. Honestly, I don't know why. Lionel Messi says it will be Luis Enrique versus Arteta. Yeah, two Spanish coaches in the final. When last did two Spanish coaches play in a final of the Champions League? I think it's been a very long time. Yeah, looking at it from that angle, I think it's been a very, very long time that we had two Spanish coaches in the final of the Champions League. Yeah, Spain has top managers now. Pep Guardiola, Luis Enrique, Mikel Arteta. Who else is from Spain that is doing beats right now? I think it's just these three guys. Yeah, it's a very good one for Spanish coaches. Sibao says, well, nice catching up with you again, Noble. I'm on my way to church right now. Bye. All right, Sibao. Do have an amazing day at church. Nothing says, stinker with 40 plus goals. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not like Mbappe is having a very terrible season. Maybe he's unable to score goals. He scores the goals for Madrid when they need the goals. So I don't understand Madrid fans' problem. That you're not winning trophies. Is it Mbappe's fault? You didn't win a trophy. Abelwa came in and was just losing games here and there. So is that Mbappe's fault? It doesn't make sense. Toxic Eddie says, Noble, watch the latest news. Valverde and Tchouaméni had a fight before the El Clasico training today. Another fight because I saw that news yesterday. So is it another fight or the same fight of yesterday? Is it the same fight of yesterday or a different fight? Because I know that they fought yesterday. I saw that news, but I've not seen the news this morning. Nothing says even Vini disrespect Xabi. Yeah, the Madrid players are like, it's just crazy. It's just crazy, honestly. Really, really crazy. Lionel Messi said, I think Madrid fans don't like Mbappe because Mbappe disrespected Xabi Alonso. That's my opinion. Disrespected Xabi Alonso. I think he didn't have any issues with Xabi. It was mainly Vini. I think it was Vini and Rodrigo that had issues with him. With Xabi Alonso, honestly. Toxic Eddie says, this is new one. Wow. Then it's getting more intense. It's getting more intense at the Bernabeu. Honestly, it's getting more intense because this steady fight, how are they going to do in the pitch then? How is Florentino Perez going to handle the situation? Man, it makes no sense. Honestly, it makes no sense. Musicology says, would you take Mbappe at United and will he cause a shit show in the locker room? Someone asked me. I will have him. I will have him. Of course, I will have Kylian Mbappe at Man United. Yeah, he's a fantastic player, regardless of what people say about him. I still fancy him. He's a very, very top player. Lionel Messi says Hakimi is injured, by the way. Yeah, Ashraf Hakimi got injured in the first leg against Bayern. He got injured. And I think Bayern should have used that wing, that's Zaire Emery's wing that he was playing right back to penetrate the PSG defense, but they didn't do that very well. Toxic Edit says another report says that Mbappé is making himself distant from the Madrid squad except the French teammates. Yeah, I think the whole fight in the squad might just be the French players not liking the stuff going rounds. Yeah, I think that might be it. Because they might not be cool with the stuff going on. The petition against Kylian Mbappé to leave the club. I think they are not happy with it. And rightly so, because for me, it doesn't make sense. Honestly, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Kylian Mbappé has been very consistent for them. He's been very, very consistent for Madrid this season. Last season, he did amazing. This season, he's also done well. Yeah, but the whole Madrid team need to sit up. Yeah, they need to sit up. They shouldn't blame Kylian Mbappé for stuffs like this. It doesn't make sense. Yeah, the whole news coming out of Madrid is not looking good. It's not looking good, honestly. It's not. And I think Florentino Perez needs to step in. He needs to step in to stop this whole nonsense going on. Else, it's going to damage Madrid. It's going to damage them. Yeah, let's look at a couple of things the Bayern coach said and also Harry Kane. Harry Kane says, we can win the double, in my opinion. PSG are slightly favorites in the final, told Sky Sports DE. Yeah, as a sports fan, of course. As a sports fan, I know he's going to want PSG to win Arsenal in the final. That is for certain. Toxic Eddie says only French players like Camavinga and Tchouaméni are standing behind him to support him. And I think Rudiger as well. Rudiger might also be in support of Kylian Mbappé. I think maybe that's where the whole fracas came between Rudiger and Alvaro Carreras. Maybe. But let's see what happens though. Vincent Kompany says, I know how difficult it is to win the Champions League. We'll try everything to do better next season. He also went on to say that, I hope we'll have some of these refereeing decisions to our favor next season. Yeah, but you had it in your favor against Madrid. That's just one thing about referees' decisions. Sometimes they go in your favor and sometimes they go against you. And when they go against you, you'll be very, very mad. Yeah, the inconsistency in referee decisions they are really annoying. I would say they are really annoying. Musicology says if Harry Kane stayed at Spurs, he wouldn't have got 300 Premier League goals by now. He would have got 300 Premier League goals. He was on 200 and what exactly? I think Harry Kane already surpassed Wayne Rooney, because Wayne Rooney was the second highest goal scorer in the, Rooney was the highest goal scorer in the English national team. He broke Bobby Charlton's record and became the highest goal scorer. Then Harry Kane came, surpassed Wayne Rooney as the highest goal scorer of England. Then for the Prem, I think Rooney was second behind Alan Shearer. Then Harry Kane came past when Rooney was very much close to beating Alan Shearer's record. Then he left. I think if Kane had not left the Prem, he would have gotten more goals than Alan Shearer. Yeah, definitely. Toxic Eddie says, I see some big players leaving Madrid this summer. Yeah, with this whole stuff going on, I think a couple of people might leave. Intergataxi says, what is your 11 team of the season, all leagues? All the league. All the league. All the league. My best 11 in all the leagues this season. In goal, I would definitely have David Raya in goal. Yeah, because for me this season, David Raya is the best goalkeeper in Europe. Yeah, so I would have gone with Thibaut Courtois if Courtois had stayed till the end of the season. But yeah, I will have to go with David Raya now. Then my left back has to be Nuno Mendes. Right back has to be Ashraf Hakimi. Then for center backs, even I think for center backs, I have to have Gabriel Magalhaes in that center back position. So I'm going to go with two left-footed center backs. I'll go for Pacho and Gabriel Magalhaes. Yeah, I would have gone for Gabriel and Marquinhos, but I'll go for Gabriel and Pacho. Yeah, I'll go for Gabriel and Pacho. Then the midfield, I have to go with Vitinha, Declan Rice, and Bruno Fernandes. Yeah, these three guys are definitely in the midfield for me. Then in attack, up front, I have to put Harry Kane as my striker. Michael Olise on one side, and it's between Kvaratskhelia and Luis Diaz. Kvaratskhelia and Luis Diaz. I'll go for, I think just for the age, I'll go for Kvaratskhelia ahead of Luis Diaz. Yeah. Toxic Eddie says, let's start with goalkeeper. It's David Raya from Arsenal. Centre back Gabriel and Saliba, common noble. Now, Saliba for me this season is not at the level he used to be. He's not. I definitely will pick Marquinhos, that is old, ahead of Saliba. But Gabriel is top. Gabriel is top 2, top 3 best defender this season in the whole of Europe. He is. Toxic says Rice, Vitinha, Bruno, definitely. Yeah, that's gonna be a perfect midfield for me. Intergalactic says good team. Sohail Khan says Ousmane Dembele. Dembele is top, but I don't really want to have him in my top 11 of the season. I think there are players who have performed better the whole season than Dembele. That's it. Intergalactic says Cavara's record in League One is not good. That's why I said it's between Kvaratskhelia or Luis Diaz, right? I might choose to go with Kvaratskhelia, or secondly, I might consider going for Luis Diaz. But I think the left wing is either of those two guys. Maybe if I want to include another attacker on the flank, maybe I might put Mbappé there. But Mbappé played as a striker this season, so that's why I went for Harry Kane. Harry Kane for me is the best striker this season and the best player this season. So I think Harry Kane deserves to be in that position. Toxic Eddie says, I'll go for Saka right wing. Come on, bro. Saka hasn't done anything this season. You're going for Saka right wing. Nah, come on. No way are you going for Saka as right wing, bro. Nah, no way. Even Cunha, Man United has even done more this season than Saka in terms of performance. So I love Saka. I'm a big fan of him, but nah. There's no way Saka is going there. If Olise is not in that right wing. The next person, if I'm choosing a second 11, has to be Lamine Yamal. Lamine Yamal has to be the second on the list after Olise. Come on. Soldier Boy says, do you think Leon Goretzka is a good midfielder for Bayern? I don't know why Vincent Kompany doesn't like to play him anymore. He should have come on yesterday, take Pavlovic off, because I didn't see what Pavlovic did the whole game. I did not see what he did. And also, keeping Kim Min-jae on the bench to play Upamecano. Sometimes coaches take certain decisions that you be like, what's up with this coach? What's up with him? Sohail Khan says, Joao Neves, Paredes. Joao Neves is a very, very good player. I really like him. Yeah, but I didn't want to go with a PSG double pivot in the midfield. I just needed a different player. But Joao Neves is top. Very, very good midfielder. He can score. He's tenacious and energetic in that midfield. True Indian says, if we keep the referee decisions aside, I still don't think Bayern deserve to go through as a neutral. That first half was horrible from them. Yeah, I said it. Bayern didn't do enough to win that game. They didn't. If their attack were as prolific as they have been the whole season, I think they would have gotten about 3 goals in the first half. And that would have been a very big boost to them. But they couldn't score. They couldn't break down the PSG defense. They were just recycling the ball, making too many touches on the ball. And that didn't do them any good. It didn't do them any good at all. So I think PSG have themselves to blame. 100%. Sorry, Bayern have themselves to blame because they didn't perform to their level yesterday. They didn't. Yeah, I know that referee's decision was a wrong one. It should have been a penalty. But aside that decision, they didn't perform well in the whole game. Intergalactic says, Pavlovic, no good player. Yeah, I just didn't see why he kept him on in the game. Soldier Boy says, what about Goretzka? Goretzka was on the bench. I don't know why he wasn't brought on. Pavlovic, what was he doing the whole game? It's not like he was providing serious cover to the defense or attacking very well. I don't know. But it was the coach's decision and he has to face the consequences of his decisions. They are out. Innocent or here says hi. Innocent, welcome back. I think you've been on the channel before. You are a Doma, right? I think you've been on the channel before. I've seen that name. Nice to have you back, Innocent. Intergalactic says, good player in the squad but not scoring enough goals when it matters. Just in Farmers League. Nah. Pavlovic is a decent young player, but I think he should have come off probably around 60 minutes. Sohail Khan says, Argentina squad 1, Julian Alvarez, Alexis McAllister, Rodrigo De Paul, Simeone, Enzo Fernandez, Christian Romero, Nicolas Otamendi, Paredes. That's more or less their first 11. But Christian Romero is not going to be at the World Cup. He had an injury, so he's not going to be at the World Cup. Sajal Gala says, yo bro, do you remember me from yesterday? Yeah, Sajal Gala, I remember you. Welcome back. Let's get the likes up, guys. And for those who are just joining for the first time, kindly subscribe to Noble's View. I'll be doing a live watch along later today for the Europa League and Conference League semi-finals. Nottingham Forest playing against Aston Villa. And we have Crystal Palace playing against Shakhtar Donetsk. Crystal Palace won 3-1 in the first leg is Ukraine. Shakhtar is in Ukraine, right? Then they are playing at Selhurst Park tonight. So it's going to be a very tough game. But I think Palace are going to get into the finals of the Europa League. Sorry, of the Conference League. Then Forest. I think Forest are going to go through to the finals of the Europa League. Yeah, Forest are going to go through. When Ferreira says, don't think Arsenal will do the double. Yeah, I honestly don't think, but it's possible. It's very much possible. First of all, they need to win the Premier League. That is the first thing they need to do. Win the Prem. If they win the Premier League, then they can go into the Champions League final with confidence. But they have to win the Premier League. Guys, let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. Our likes are still very much low. PSG Arsenal finals. It's going to be interesting. I'm really, really looking forward to it. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Sergio Gala says, where to watch the Europa League? I actually use streaming. Not really. I use a website here in China to watch football games, but it only works in China. It doesn't work outside of the Chinese region. KG Sukuna says robbed. Yeah, excluding Bayern feeling maybe they were robbed, which I think that was a penalty, but overall Bayern didn't play to their level. They couldn't score goals. PSG has the best attack in the Champions League. They scored 44 goals. That is crazy. Arsenal has the best defense. They've only conceded 6 goals in the Champions League. In 14 games, Arsenal conceded only 6 goals. But PSG is the best attack. I thought it was Bayern, by the way. I didn't know PSG had the best attack. PSG has scored 44 goals. That's a lot. That's a lot. Sergio Gala says, when next you streaming? I'm streaming the Aston Villa game against Nottingham Forest. I think that will be 8 p.m. UK time. Also, Crystal Palace against Shakhtar Donetsk at home. The semi-final. Sohail Khan says, Lionel Messi would very serious in the World Cup. I hope he plays. Well, I don't think he's going to be as dedicated or committed as he was in the last World Cup. He's already won it, so the motivation won't be the same. Sejal says, you speak Mandarin. Yeah, I speak Mandarin. I speak Mandarin. Yeah, it's the best attack against the best defense in the UCL. Kvaratskhelia said, at PSG, if you don't run, you are on the bench. This is the key part, and I love this. You see this? I love this. This is why I don't want Rashford back at Man United. Garnacho, Sancho, these guys, I don't want them. They are lazy forwards. They can't even do the best for you in attack. That you can overlook certain things. And Dembele said this when Thierry, I think it was, okay, sorry, it was Micah, is it Micah Richards or Carragher that asked him that question about his press. He said, if you don't press, Luis Enrique will keep you on the bench. And that is it. Every player must work hard for every single ball. When Ferreira says, how can you not give a penalty when it's straight in front of the ref? Yeah, I don't know. Some people are saying, though I've not checked that rule. People were saying that the new rule states that if the ball comes from your teammate and hits your hand and it wasn't intentional, then it's not going to be penalized. I've not checked it, but from what I've known always has been that is a handball. I don't know when they changed the rule. Yaya says, did you know that when Gabriel and Saliba are playing, they haven't conceded an open play goal since April 2024? You mean the Champions League or Premier League? Yeah. When Gabriel and Saliba are playing, Did Gabriel and Saliba not play against Man United? Man United scored 2 open play goals against them. Are you talking about the Champions League? I need to be sure the league you're talking about. Or the competition, sorry. Yaya says, PSG play with so much speed, Arteta needs to learn from them. He was so out his depth when we played them last season. Yeah, PSG are very quick. They are very, very quick. KD Sukuna says, I know PSG was the better team. Yesterday, they were literally predicting every next move of Bayern players, blocking every shot, but still many things went against Bayern. Now, it was just only that decision of the referee not to award a pen. I think that was the only decision that I would say he got wrong yesterday. Aside that, nothing else. Van Graham Malik says Arsenal gonna win UCL. The Gunners will lift the UCL. Well, it's very much possible. It's very much possible. It's a final, but I know it's very difficult. It's a very, very difficult game. That's the most important game of Mikel Arteta's history as a manager, and also Arsenal. That game against PSG is the most important game in Arsenal's history of over 100 years. That is the most important game in their history. This is now more important than the 2006 final they lost to Barcelona. Honestly. When Ferreira says you have to give Carrick the full-time job now. Yeah, I've been saying this. Give Carrick the damn job. Give him the job. Why waste time? Who else is out there that you think is going to do better? You brought in different categories of managers. Many of them, in fact, all of them have flopped, aside Jose, who was more successful than others because he won the Europa League and I think the Carling, was it the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup? He won 2 trophies and left. And he was sacked. So I don't really think there's a better option there. Every other manager you bring in will be a risk. That's for sure. Every manager you bring in is a risk. Sejal says if PSG wins UCL and France wins World Cup, the Ballon d'Or will go to Dembele. Well, let's see what happens. I don't think France is winning the World Cup. France has terrible defense. Their defense is rubbish. KG Sukuna says it's not like the best defense versus best attack. PSG defense is not bad. Now, but Arsenal has the best defense because they've conceded the least number of goals. Arsenal conceded just 6 goals the whole tournament. Right? PSG conceded 4 against Bayern last week. So Arsenal has the best defense. But PSG has the best attack because they have scored 44 goals in the Champions League. So it's the best attack versus the best defense. That's what we are seeing in the final. Yaya says, I think the UCL final result will be determined on whether Arsenal win the league. Yeah, if Arsenal wins that league, it's going to be a big boost to them. Very, very big boost, honestly. But they need to go all out for it. They need to go all out for it. Yaya says 6 goals in 14 games can't really do much better than that. No open play goals considered in knockout stages. Yeah, Arsenal's defense they are solid. That's why I said it's a big plus for the Arsenal team because that defense has shown that they can actually do the job, and that is the main reason Arsenal is in this position they are, both in the league and in the Champions League, conceding the least number of goals in the Champions League and also in the Premier League. That shows you have the best defense in the league. and also in Europe. Sejal says, you're the best streamer in the world in my opinion. Thank you very much, Sejal Gala. True Indian says, the losing team in the UCL final hasn't scored a goal since 2018. So do you think it will be the same against scoring first winning equal UCL? Equal winning UCL. Yeah, I think what Arsenal need to do is score first against PSG. They should not allow PSG to score them first. Because if PSG scores first, then it's a very, very big problem for Arsenal. Honestly. You just should not allow them to score first. I need Arsenal to play like Chelsea played against them. Don't sit back. You have to. The only thing is that Arsenal is not really good with pressing. Because that was the tactics that Enzo Maresca used to neutralize the PSG team. They didn't allow PSG play their usual game. Yaya says, I still don't understand why you say Saliba has not been great recently. All the stats say differently. Bro, I'm a big fan of Saliba, right? But I think the Saliba I've been watching for 3 seasons. Is it 3 or 4 seasons? The Saliba I've been watching for like 3 or 4 seasons now. This season is his worst in terms of his individual performance. This season is his worst in terms of his individual performance every season. So that's why I said I will pick Gabriel ahead of him this season. 3 seasons ago, I would have picked Saliba ahead of Gabriel, 100%. But right now, Gabriel is like this. KG Sukuna says, Pacho greater than Saliba currently. Yeah, of course, I will pick Pacho ahead of Saliba all day long. That's why I said in my team of the season, I will go for Pacho and Gabriel. I would have gone for Marquinhos and Gabriel, but man, Pacho for me is very solid. Pacho is very, very solid. Pacho is the one that does most of the marking for Marquinhos. Marquinhos is just like the last man that finishes everything off. Pacho does the marking. So Pacho for me, he's definitely my team of the season. I'll pick Pacho ahead of Saliba, 100%. Yeah, you can say the pairing of Saliba and Gabriel is solid. Yes, I agree with that. When it comes to the best centre-back pairing in the world, it has to be Gabriel and Saliba because they have considered the least goals in the Champions League and also in the Prem. I agree. But when it comes to the whole season in all European leagues and the Champions League, I definitely will go with Pacho and Gabriel Magalhaes. KG Sukuna says, good to see Manchester United and AC Milan coming back to UCL. Yeah, the big boys are coming back to the Champions League. Sikegleg says, Bayern was robbed by the way. Yeah, the penalty, I think it was just that penalty decision that I would say the referee got wrong. Yeah, but every other decision was spot on from the referee. Sejal says, do you think Rice will win the Ballon d'Or? No, I don't think Rice deserves the Ballon d'Or. There are other players who perform better. Yeah, there are other players who perform better. I don't think Rice even deserves to be, even if Arsenal wins the Champions League, I don't think Rice deserves to be in the top 5 for the Ballon d'Or. I love Declan Rice. He's an amazing player. But nah, I don't think Rice deserves to be in that conversation. Yeah, says, yeah, I disagree. I think Saliba has been solid. Nah, Saliba, this season, he's been making a couple of mistakes. Yeah, just that most times when he makes mistakes, Gabriel covers up or David Raya saves it. So that's why it's not really obvious. Yeah, that's why it's not really obvious. But I've watched Saliba ever since he came back to Arsenal. I've watched him. This season for me is not been at the same level. I'm talking about individual performance. For example, Gabriel this season has had a very, very big improvement in his individual performance this season compared to previous seasons. Yeah, previous seasons he was solid, but not as solid as this season individually. Kwandale Dingle says, yo, I'm your biggest fan. I'll always support you. Thank you very much, Kwandale Dingle. Nice to have you back on the channel. Musicology says, would you say that this season's Arsenal squad would be the worst winners of the Premier League, considering you wouldn't put any Arsenal player in the team of the season? Nah, I wouldn't say that they are the worst. They will be the worst Premier League leaders, winners if they win. And yes, there are a couple of Arsenal players that I will definitely put in the team of the season. I would pick, let's say, David Raya. Definitely David Raya. Left back. Now, left back has to be Nico O'Reilly. So, Calafiori or Hincapie ain't getting that spot. David Raya, Gabriel Magalhaes. I wouldn't put Saliba in that. I will go with Kusanov. I will go with Gabriel and Kusanov of Man City. Then right back. That's three players. Sorry, that's two players. Raya and Gabriel. I'm not putting Saliba there. I'm putting Kusanov. Then right back. Yeah, I would have gone for... I think I would go for Timber. I will go for Timber, but Timber has been injured for a couple of weeks now, but Timber was solid. Yeah, so I'll go for Timber 3, Declan Rice 4. I think it's only 4 Arsenal players that can get in my team of the season. Only 4 Arsenal players. Every other player from Arsenal are not getting in my team of the season. Just these 4 guys. KG Sukuna says, no, there were many wrong decisions taken by the ref. He gave free kick to PSG, and when Bayern's players were tackled. Well, I don't think... Yeah, I understand your point, though, but I don't think that impacted the game as much as that penalty decision did. Yeah, it's just a penalty decision that I 100% disagree with him. Yaya says, Raya deserves the Ballon d'Or if Arsenal win the league and UCL. Come on, bro. He doesn't deserve the Ballon d'Or. He doesn't. Even if Arsenal wins the Champions League, there is no Arsenal player that deserves the Ballon d'Or. In my opinion. The same with PSG. Even if PSG wins the Champions League, for me, no PSG player deserves the Ballon d'Or. I think this season, Harry Kane has been the best player. He's been the best player. KG Sukuna says, this season the Ballon d'Or will mainly depend on the result of the World Cup. Yeah, I think it will. The World Cup is going to play a huge role in the Ballon d'Or. But let's see who does well in the World Cup. Is it Portugal? Is it England? Is it Spain? Is it France? Let's see. But I think Portugal still stand a very, very strong chance to win the World Cup. They have a very, very solid team. Their midfield, their attack, the attack might not really... Yeah, I think their attack is decent. Yeah, their attack is decent. For sure. But I think Portugal stand a very, very strong chance of winning the Champions League. Sorry, the World Cup. Yaya says, Gabriel and Raya have taken us to the final. Yeah, those two guys took you guys to the final. Gabriel and David Raya. The both of them are the key components of that squad. Without them, Arsenal would not be in that final. Rahman says, bro, Bayern got robbed. El referee. Yeah, that penalty was supposed to be a penalty, honestly. Yaya says Arsenal's attack is actually pretty good if Arteta picks the right team. I think Arteta is I don't know if I'm to say he's too pragmatic. Yeah, I think Arteta is too pragmatic. Most times he doesn't give that freedom to his attacking players to go express themselves. I think that's one problem with Arteta. He always wants them to play within that box. Yeah, and it's making someone like Eze, who is very, very expressive with the ball, not to be at the top of his game. Honestly. And it doesn't make sense. So Hekan says, why there is no black footballer in Argentina? Why there's no Bengali and Baloch in Pakistani team? Baloch. Well, I don't know that. I'm not from those countries, so I can't give any opinion about that. As she says, it was not a penalty by Rule 102. Okay, can you give us what the Rule 102 states in IFAB law? Marcus Aurelius says Arsenal will crush PSG. It doesn't work that way, bro. It's not going to be easy for both teams, but I know we're going to see something exciting for sure. True Indian says, I think Kvaratskhelia has been excellent in UCL knockouts, but he won't get it because it's a World Cup year. Now, for me, I don't think a PSG team deserves it or an Arsenal team. That is just the honest truth. That is just the honest truth. Yeah, because the Ballon d'Or is given to the best player who has been outstanding the whole season. Yes, it's important you win a trophy. I get all that, but I still think there are players who perform better the whole season than these other guys, honestly. Khan says Pakistan cricket cabinet won ICC World Cup, T21 Champions Trophy 1, multilateral series. I don't know all those competitions you're calling out. Yaya says you are biased towards goal scorers. You don't recognize the achievements of defenders and goalkeepers. Of course, I understand the achievements of goalkeepers and defenders. That's why I said David Raya for me is my goalkeeper of the season. The fact that he's my goalkeeper of the season doesn't mean I think he deserves the Ballon d'Or. No. I think he deserves to be in the team of the season. Be it for... Okay, I don't want to call FIFA now because FIFA has to be the FIFA World Cup, right? So I don't want to go to FIFA. But in terms of UEFA team of the season, David Raya deserves to be there. In Premier League team of the season, David Raya deserves it as well. Yeah, so for me, guys, like I was saying, I think David Raya has been solid, but for the Ballon d'Or, nah, I'm not going for David Raya as the Ballon d'Or pick for me. I'm not. There are other players that performed better the whole season than David Raya and Gabriel. Yeah, they were very solid for their teams. That's a fact. I acknowledge that. But for the Ballon d'Or, nah. Do you know how exceptional a goalkeeper will be for him to win the Ballon d'Or? Do you know how exceptional a goalkeeper will be for him to win the Ballon d'Or? Nah. True Indian says, I think... Okay, I've already read that message. Yaya says, Trossard, Eze, Rice, Doman, Saka, and Merino is our best attack. You don't have Odegaard, your captain there. Yeah, I think that attack is pretty solid. Yeah, but Max Doman, I think next season he's going to get lots of game time. Yeah, he's going to get lots of game time next season. But I think he needs to be put in the team gradually. Yeah. Yaya says if a goalkeeper or defender has to work 10 times harder to win the award ahead of a goal scorer, then it's not a fair award. Well, the point is the goals are actually the most intriguing thing about football. So that's why the goal scorers get lots of recognition when it comes to awards like this. Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, the goalkeepers and defenders, considerations need to be made and all that. But yeah, for me, I'm not giving a goalkeeper the Ballon d'Or. I'm not. KG Sukuna says, bro, Ronaldo fans saying that Ngumoha greater than Lamine Yamal. Nah, he's not greater than Lamine Yamal. Ngumoha is my brother. I love him. He's got a fantastic talent, but Lamine Yamal is greater, yeah. But Rio has a very, very huge ceiling. Rio Ngumoha, I don't know why Arne Slot doesn't like to start him in games. He doesn't. The boy he's a trouble. He's a big trouble. The boy is very good. Narcisse Samba says hi. Narcisse Samba, where are you connecting from? Guys, let's get the likes up. Let's get the likes up. We are currently on 27. Let's get it up. And if you are new to the channel, kindly hit the subscribe button, guys. Let's get the likes up and subscribe to the channel. Let's go, guys. True Indian says Ronaldo fans never said that. Well, I don't know where he got it from. Yeah, says I'm looking forward to next season, especially if we win something this year. Yeah, I think for sure Arsenal is definitely winning a trophy this year. Arsenal is definitely winning a trophy this year. But let's see if they are going to win the Prem or the Champions League. Let's see the one they are going to win. Arsenal fans in the chat, would you prefer Arsenal win the Champions League or the Prem? Which one, if you have just one choice to make? Arsenal fans in the chat. Would you rather win the Premier League or the Champions League? Arsenal fans in the chat. Milton says, Nobu, your thoughts on Champions League final, please. I think it's going to be a very tough final. I have what my head is telling me and what my heart is telling me. They are two different things. So, like, me analyzing without sentiment, without bias or affiliation to any team, right? I know definitely PSG is going to win. But for the fact that I want Arsenal to win, at least let their fans get something. Let their fans win something. I'm a Man United fan and I know, yes, lots of United fans are hating on Arsenal not to win the Champions League. I understand that. I know that they are going to make noise about it. Of course, if you haven't won the Champions League in 100 years and you end up winning it, you are going to make noise about it, for sure. For example, Man United now, the last time we went to the final of the Champions League was in 2011, 15 years ago. So you tell me now, if Man United makes it to the final next season or 2 seasons to come, I'm not going to make noise on the internet. You must be joking. So, of course, they have to make noise about it. So, I'm definitely going for an Arsenal win. 1-0, by the way. David Samuel says hi. David Samuel, welcome to the channel. You're my namesake. Where are you connecting from, David Samuel? Chav FSC says, yo, Noble. Yeah, Chav, welcome back. It's been a while. Nice to have you back. Chav says, I haven't been in your streams because I had two... You had two testicular cancer. What? Is that a joke or you're being serious, bro? Chave first. Yaya says nothing is definite. I know nothing is definite, but I'm just asking, as Arsenal fans, would you guys rather win the Premier League? If you have just take a pick, the Champions League and the Premier League, you have to pick one. As Arsenal fans, which one would you pick? Udo James says no other choice than winning the 2 trophies. Bro, I know it's possible to win both trophies, right? As an Arsenal fan, I understand that. But I'm saying, if you are given a choice to just pick one amongst both trophies, you only have to pick one between the Champions League and the Premier League. Which one would you go for as an Arsenal fan? Not going for the double. No, I'm just saying pick one trophy. Pick one trophy, not the 2. Udo James. Nwa Fibo. Nigeria or outside of Nigeria, Udo James. Is it Udo? I don't know if it's Udo. Yeah, I know Akwa Ibom people bear Udo. So I don't know if it's Udo or Udo. James Jones says, Premier League, I'm tired of Man City, Arsenal and Liverpool winning every year. Yeah, I think well, that's one of the main reasons I'm not supporting Man City to win the Premier League. Right? Because I feel it's been so boring in the past couple of years to have Man City take the trophy every damn time. So I would rather another team wins it. Yeah, I would rather another team wins the Premier League than Man City, honestly. So Hekan says UCL. Okay, you're going for UCL. Vabik says Bayern was robbed. Yeah, I think that penalty should have been a pen. KG Sukuna says, of course, the Champions League. Okay. Sohail Khan says, I'm not an Arsenal fan. Okay. Reed Jr. Yaya says, I can't choose one. I want both. You're greedy, bro. You just have to pick one from both trophies. The Champions League or the UCL. The Champions League or the Premier League. Which one are you going for? Ebi says, Gosong. What's the meaning of Gosong, Ebi? Is it Gosong or Scrub? Is it Udo or Udo? Are you Akwa Ibom or Igbo? Is it Udo? I know I used to have friends that bear that name, Udo. So I don't know if... Okay, Udo. I think Udo has R. I think Udo has R. I think that was Udo James. Or is it Udo? Udo James says, we are winning both trophies because the bantering is beyond and out of the world. Yeah, Arsenal fans are... The banter they get on the internet is crazy. It's indeed crazy. Yeah, but I think the Premier League is one trophy that Arsenal needs to go all out for. Win the Premier League. Khan says, sir, do you watch Cop de Libertadores competition in South America? No, I don't watch it. I don't watch it. Sejal says, bro, I'm back. Welcome back, Sejal. Yeah, says both have significance, but honestly, whether or not we win a trophy, it ain't gonna change my life in any way. I just want to watch good football next season. Well, I think Arsenal fans will go for anyone. They just need to get something this season. And I think the Arsenal team needs to win. The Arsenal team needs to win so that the players can go into the next season confident that they can win trophies. Udo says, I'm from Akwa Ibom State. Yeah, I thought as much because I know I have a friend that was called Udo. So, and when I looked at it, it looked like Udo, because Udo is the same spelling with that Udo. So that was why I asked you. It's nice to have you on the channel, Udo James. Guys, if you are yet to subscribe to the channel, kindly hit the like button and subscribe to Noble's View. Give me 1 minute, guys. I need to get something. 1 minute. Yo guys, I'm back. Alright. Sohel Khan says I watch La Liga. Yeah, I watch La Liga, mainly Barcelona and Real Madrid games. Other games, I don't find them interesting to watch. KG Sukuna says, can Barcelona win La Liga this year? Of course, Barcelona just need to get a win against Madrid and boom, it's all over for the La Liga title. They are almost but confirmed champions. So they just need to get a win or possibly, I think a draw. I think a draw can get them the La Liga title. Udo James says, the league, of course, is wrapping up this Sunday. You guys are playing West Ham and City are going to play... Is it Brentford? Yeah, City are playing Brentford on Saturday. So let's see what happens this weekend. Brentford. I'm yet to do my predictions video. I'll do that tomorrow. Brentford. Well, tomorrow I will look at what my predictions are going to be for the weekend. But I think this is the Bournemouth game that I'm 100% sure that City are dropping points in that game. 100%. Sohel Khan says Atletico Madrid would take cake from Barcelona. I hope Diego Simeone wins. Wins which game? Diego Simeone, I think they've already qualified for the Champions League or probably need one more win to qualify. So I don't think that is a problem for Atletico Madrid. Seja Gala says, I subbed you from 2 accounts. I mean subbed. Alright, thank you very much, Sejal Gala, for subscribing to the channel. Udo James says, thanks man, you're doing great. You're welcome, bro. Nice to have you on the channel and hope to see you often on the channel. I'll be going live for the semi-finals of the Conference League and also the Europa League. The Nottingham Forest game against Aston Villa is a tough one. The first leg was a 1-0 win for Forest. And the second leg is going to be a very tough one. So let's see who wins. But I think Nottingham Forest are going to qualify to the final. And Palace are going to qualify to the finals of the Conference League. So we are going to have English teams in all the finals. The Champions League, the Europa League, and also the Conference League. We are going to have 3 English teams playing all finals. It's going to be interesting. Udo James, have you subscribed already to the channel? James. Seja says, I can't come for that stream because I have to sleep, but I'll try. Nah, it's all good, bro. It's not a problem. Anytime you are free to join, it's not a problem. You can join. Thank you very much. KG Sukuna says, at least the League One, not totally one-sided this year. Yeah, Lens is actually pushing, but I think PSG will still win the league. PSG are definitely going to win the league, for sure. Alright guys, I'll be ending the stream shortly. Yeah, but I need those who are yet to like to also hit the like button. And if you are not yet a subscriber of the channel, kindly support the channel by liking and subscribing at the same time. Seja says, my name is Varin, but this is my mom's phone. Alright, Varin, Nice to always have you on the channel. World Ball Animation says, yo, welcome back, World Ball Animations. Nice to have you back on the channel. World Ball says, who do you think is gonna win the UCL, bro? I think PSG will win, but I want Arsenal to win. But I'm going to predict emotionally, and yeah, I just don't want PSG to win it. I don't want them to win it. I'm rooting for Arsenal to win the Champions League. Yeah, I'm going to support Arsenal in the final. I think this is the first time for me that I'll be supporting a team that is not my team like that in the final. I'll be rooting for Arsenal like an Arsenal fan. So I'll be supporting Arsenal to win the to win the Champions League against PSG. Definitely, that's what I'll be doing. But I do hope they win it, by the way. Udo says, yes, I have subscribed. All right, thank you very much, Udo, for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate that. Thank you, brother. Sejal Gala says, I want PSG to win it because of Zana. Who is Zana? Which player is Zana? Or is that a typographical error? KG Sukuna says, it's really hard to watch European football in India. Every match starts after midnight and the World Cup is in the starting early morning. Yeah, for those of us in Southeast Asia or in Asia, it's very difficult to watch Premier League games. Very, very difficult, because sometimes for me, like the game yesterday was 3 a.m. in China time and the game finished to 5. So it's very difficult watching Champions League games. Honestly, it's very difficult watching Champions League or Premier League games in Asia. Tough. Udo James says, the 3 European trophies is coming to England. Yeah, it's very much likely, and I would love that. And I think that will be the first time probably in the history of the Premier League to have that. Sajja says, so true, my family. KG Sukuna says, yeah, I also want PSG to win because UCL, because of Zana. Who is Zana? I don't know who Zana is. Anyways, guys, I'll see you all later tonight for the live watch along between Crystal Palace versus Shakhtar Donetsk, and we have Aston Villa playing Nottingham Forest in the semi-finals of the Europa League. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day and have a wonderful day ahead. Thank you guys very much, and don't forget to like and subscribe to Noble's View. Peace out.